G'day folks, in this video I'm restoring the steering column for the Datsun 1200. Welcome back to 32 Builds. I hope you're all staying safe out there. Today we'll be going over the process that I went through to get the whole steering column looking brand new. This includes the disassembly, restoration and repair of the various involved components. The steering column is already off the car. We'll start off with taking everything apart from the steering box back. Also note, if you're going to be doing this yourself, I don't recommend the sequence that I'm about to go through. It's just due to the nature of my learning style. I tend to jump right in and start taking things apart. In hindsight, working from the steering wheel down would have made more sense. Make sure to stick around till the end of the episode where I go over some of the areas where I stuffed up. Enjoy! As you can see, everything's looking pretty grimy, which is to be expected given some of the moving parts need to be lubricated to avoid excessive wear. When dirt and dust gets into the mix, over time you end up with the opposite effect, increased wear due to the added grit. So that's where I come in to intervene and give everything a good refresh. The process from here will consist of cleaning, restore and repair, then assembly. I've separated all the parts for cleaning. Metals get a good wipe with degreaser, while plastics get washed with soap. We'll start off with the switch assembly, which houses the turn signal, and high beam switches. As you can see, there's a nasty crack threatening to split the whole thing in half. Using a soldering iron and some ABS filament for my 3D printer, I'll try my hand at welding that crack shut. Here you can see all the fasteners are getting replaced with new ones. Those with a keen eye will see that the smallest screws aren't actually the exact same thread pitch. For those, I'll be choosing a slightly larger bolt, and I'll be tapping new threads into the plastic. Next up, the column bushing. This centers the column shaft within its tubed housing. A worn out one would result in a little jiggle or play through the steering wheel. I got myself a 3D printer earlier this year, so let's try printing a new one. I took the essential measurements and modeled myself a new bushing. The resulting print was made from nylon, which is one of the more stronger printable plastics. Nylon can be a little tricky to print with, so I ended up with a bit of string, but that's nothing that couldn't be trimmed off with a razor blade. Now for the rubber seal that sits at the firewall. It's pretty cracked up and dry in areas. Since I had difficulty sourcing a new one, I decided to try and fix it up with some adhesive polyurethane. I used a finished up loo roll for the center mold, then trimmed the excess once set. The end product is a little rough, but it'll do the job just fine. Finally, the external tube of the steering column. After wire wheeling and masking off the crumple zone, I give it a couple coats of etch primer, then a hammer finish black. It's always so satisfying seeing painted parts. Now everything is ready for reassembly. So it's looking pretty schmick. Along the way though, I did run into a couple problems. 1. I do not recommend removing the bearings from the lower worm gear. Just make sure the play is within spec. Not only was it a hassle trying not to lose them, but also reassembly was super tricky, easy to get wrong, and just not good for my mental health. Also, my steering column is collapsible, which means the outer shell has a crumple zone, and the inner shaft is telescopic, hence the green wire to keep a good ground connection. At some point I had collapsed the inner shaft, which meant I couldn't get the boss kit and the steering wheel bolted up. It took me a good part of the day assembling, reassembling, only to figure out that pushing the inner steering shaft in only collapsed it further. Once I figured it out though, it only took me a spanner and a hammer to get it fully extended again. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Back to some more work on the Datsun, and I'll see you again very soon. As always, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you want to show support for my videos. Peace.
Are you helping Bobby?